Welcome to Paradise Island in the Bahamas. I'm here for one very simple reason, to dive with Caribbean reef sharks. This place is one of the biggest hotspots in the world for Caribbean reef sharks, even though they're dotted all the way from the Caribbean down to Brazil. And so I thought I'm going to take 5 days off the usual adventures to explore the incredible Paradise Island with a friend. And I've actually got another video which just came out showing you everything there is to do on the island. We have gambled in the casino, got out on jet skis, gone down the water park, which is part of the hotel, and you can see all of that in the other video. But for the purposes of today, the whole reason we're here is to dive with these incredible Caribbean reef sharks. They can grow huge, up to 9 feet, 3 meters long, and some of the ones I saw were that long. The way it works is you get picked up from somewhere on Paradise Island in the morning out to the most southwestern point where there's local Caribbean reef sharks and nurse sharks that live on the reef nearby, but they give them a little snack. There's some feeding in the second dive, which you'll see, in order to keep the sharks incentivized to have a little play around with the humans. And I couldn't believe, obviously they're incredibly intelligent animals, but I couldn't believe how much the nurse sharks love the human interaction. So they come over to the feeders, and the feeders like rub them on the neck, under their belly and on the neck, and you can see the nurse sharks just swimming towards them, not in an aggressive way, in a completely playful way. So the dives were actually yesterday, and it was the only day where we didn't have perfect blue skies, which I was super worried that we were going to get poor visibility, but it turned out absolutely perfectly. The visibility was insane. It's the clearest water. You can see this turquoise water behind me, even with the cloud cover and less brightness. So many Caribbean reef sharks and so many nurse sharks. So we got out in the water for dive number 1, which was a combination of a sandy bottom shark dive and a wreck dive. Striding step entry, and instantly there were reef sharks underneath. Descended as quickly as possible in a safe manner to get down to the sharks, and then the rest of the dive, you can see how it went. We went over to the Ray of Hope wreck and did an actual swim through in the wreck as well. Absolutely insane. One of my favorite diving experiences so far. That was just dive number 1, where we were seeing the sharks behaving naturally, knowing they weren't going to get fed, but just inquisitive for the human behavior around them, both a combination of nurse sharks and Caribbean reef sharks. And then dive number 2 was after a 30-minute surface interval. We got prepped. The instructors got chainmail on because obviously they're getting nice up close and personal with the sharks, and although it's not the shark's intention to bite the human, they know they're getting a bit of a snack, so they were given like little chunks. Not every shark got fed, but a few of them got fed. Keeps them in the area, and they like swimming through the humans and being inquisitive anyway. We all made like a semicircle arrangement, and the sharks would kind of swim behind us, swim back over us to get back into feeding. Super close encounters. You're not allowed to touch the sharks, but on multiple occasions, like I could see its teeth 20 centimeters away from my head, looking into a shark's mouth, and it would brush along you because it doesn't care. It would brush along your wetsuit. You'd feel the shark's tail or the shark's body. So this is how dive number 2 went. The intense shark encounters from every single angle. And it was a very clinical mission. In the water for dive 1, out the water for the surface interval, back in the water for dive 2. So I didn't vlog the day because of the weather, and I thought I'd rather give you the rundown in front of this beautiful scenery the next day. As I said, so stoked with the visibility and the experience overall. One of my favorite dive experiences was on Sipadan Island in Malaysia on Barracuda Point, dropping off on that huge hundreds of meter drop off. But probably in second place is this reef shark diving. I've done the thresher sharks on Malapascua Island in the Philippines as well, but the sheer number of reef sharks was awesome, and they're such aggressive looking animals. I hope you enjoyed coming along the adventure and experiencing that up close and personal. You can imagine how I felt when I was looking inside a shark's mouth from 20 centimeters away. That won't be the end of the diving on this trip, and it certainly won't be the end of the shark diving either. Plenty to look forward to. If this is something you weren't expecting to see or didn't know was possible, or just enjoyed coming along with my adventure, then give me a comment, like the video, get subscribed, because as you'll know, there's so many adventures on the way of such a variety of things, from climbing mountains, shark diving, endurance events, and everything else in between. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.
Oh, you want me to say that?
You have to.
Oh, I have to. Like and subscribe.
No, say it with conviction and look at
Please like and subscribe. Adam Radcliffe at YouTube.